I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Officials with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration were in the village of Liberty today inspecting the scene of Saturday's roof collapse that left the building owner seriously injured and a worker trapped for more than an hour. Roof trusses collapsed at a mobile gas station that was in the midst of being rebuilt on Main Street in Liberty. Property owner Tariq Guja suffered head injuries in the collapse and was airlifted to Westchester Medical Center. Franco Squilanda had to be freed from under a pile of wood. He was being treated for leg injuries at Catskill Regional Medical Center. Following today's inspection, OSHA will be issuing a report on the cause of the incident. It came at a time when the region was under a high wind advisory. Democratic members of the Orange County Legislature are reportedly trying to make a last-minute change in the county executive's plan to defund the county-owned Valley View nursing home next July. Democrats were expected to make a counter-offer later today, proposing instead that county funding be provided for all of 2012 instead of just 6 months. A county committee is scheduled to vote on County Executive Ed Diana's defunding plan tomorrow. Estimates are the Democrats' plan would require another $10 million in revenue or savings from elsewhere in the county budget. Reporter Chris McKenna will have the full story here at Record Online and in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. Ulster County District Attorney Holly Carnwright announced today that the former owner of a convenience store in Kingston has been indicted on 18 felony counts as part of the investigation into a food stamp scam. Carnwright says the store owner, Kanwarjit Singh of Wappingers Falls, stole more than $320,000, money gained from phony food stamp transactions. The DA says Singh and other store employees would ring up amounts greater than a food stamp purchase, then pocket the extra money.
Approximate annual savings to the taxpayers of over $120,000. In addition, the Department of Social Services has entered into non-criminal benefits disqualification agreements with 50 more individuals, whereby they are also disqualified from receiving any benefits for at least a year.
The overall Ulster County investigation also resulted in charges to more than a dozen others for misusing food stamp benefits. Flood-weary residents in the town of Wawarsing will be able to learn more about a home buyout plan during a meeting later this week. Ulster County Executive Michael Hine is holding the information session Thursday on what's been called the Greater Catskill Flood Remediation Program. It involves legislation that will lead to the purchase of impacted homes on Route 209 that sit within 2 miles of New York City's Delaware Aqueduct. Continual leakage from the aqueduct has led to constant groundwater seepage into a number of houses. Affected residents have until October 28th to file the necessary paperwork. Meeting Thursday evening is at Town Hall and begins at 5:30.
Forever within me.
They were performing for a great cause. Musicians stepped up yesterday to help a segment of the community who suffered severe loss during the recent storms. Hasbrook Field was the setting for New Paltz Flood Aid, a benefit to raise money for local farmers, families, and first responders impacted by tropical storms Irene and Lee. Flood Aid organizer Butch Denner said close to 2,000 people showed up to enjoy the music and contribute. They, along with those who checked it out on the web, raised about $50,000. Also Sunday, a fall farm festival in Hurley featuring legendary drummer Levon Helm raised more money for Ulster County's impacted farming community. He'd been on parole following a burglary conviction. Now Antonio Magnano is in a lot more trouble. The 32-year-old Town of Newburgh man was charged with grand larceny and criminal mischief for stealing large ground-level air conditioning units from the backs of several buildings in town, including offices, a bank, and on 2 occasions a local church. The total value of the stolen ACs is about $30,000. Police believe Magnano's motive was to sell off the copper piping and tubing from the units. And organizers of Sunday's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walks in the Hudson Valley say the events at Woodbury Common and Dutchess Stadium raised $775,000. More than 9,500 people, many of them breast cancer survivors, took part in the 5K walks. The American Cancer Society estimates that more than 15,000 women in the state were diagnosed with breast cancer this year alone. Funds raised from the walks go for research and to help low-income women with access to mammograms and for other follow-up health care services. Rainy weather will return to the region by the middle of the week. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with more cloud cover by the end of the day. The highs will be in the middle 60s. Wednesday will be rainy and windy with temperatures reaching the low to mid 60s. When news breaks, Record Online is the place to find it and get a complete look at all the day's happenings by picking up Tuesday's edition of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.